Hey, what's up guys? So welcome back to another video of mine. This one I've been waiting a long time to actually get done. As you can see, hopefully the wind doesn't create too much noise in the background, but it's really windy, terrible weather here. Let me show you what I'm doing today. So here it is. Y'all guessed it. Laying down some pipe today. Some more pipe. That's coming in the next video soon. And a little sneak peek. Alright guys, so I finally went through trying to install an exhaust on my 6.7 PowerSTROKE diesel 2019 F250. I've had it for about a year and a half. Let's check this out. 15,000 miles. Built Ford Tough. Uh-oh. Def level, 347 miles left, refill soon. When I install that exhaust, I heard that it really doesn't require that much DEF. I have like none left. That's cool. That's tight. Alright guys, so here are the few reasons of why I'm actually installing this exhaust onto my truck. And the first one is going to be longevity, durability, and reliability of the motor. Everyone knows that the EGR and DPF issues are imminent on these trucks. It's just a matter of time. Second reason is the power increase that I'll get after installing the exhaust. It could be upwards to 200 horsepower and roughly 300 or more foot-pounds of torque after this exhaust. Third reason is sound. I love the sound of diesels with a nice exhaust on it. I've had exhaust on most of my vehicles, and so honestly I think the PowerSTROKE's a little too quiet. I like the sound of the Cummins, but it's a little too loud. If I can find that mid, and hopefully this is the exhaust for it, then I'll be perfectly happy and fine with that. And one last point, I've heard that there is barely any DEF, or if any, used after installing this exhaust. So we all know that kind of adds up, especially if you tow, if you haul, you're going to use more DEF, diesel exhaust fluid. So this will all help with a more efficient process. Alright, so here's what I got going in today. Alright, and what you actually need to install that. I have a few parts over here. I have a battery charger, you know, a good old reliable battery tender, Junior. Zip ties, dielectric grease, some gloves, and this would be to cover the existing plugs and connectors after removed. Here's a shift on the fly switch. I actually wanted this, but I may hold off on installing this until I receive the 5-position switch bracket. So I think that'd be a cleaner install if I hold off on that. Some PB blaster. I went ahead and sprayed it already about an hour ago. Sprayed on the 5 bolts I believe you will need to remove the existing exhaust on, and you're going to need some kind of cheap programmer in order to calibrate for this exhaust. Alright guys, so how the process is going to look like, there's only about 8 steps, really 7 steps. The first one is actually going to be download the Auto Agent app. For me, I'm using an EZ-Link, and so it's as easy as installing the app called Auto Agent. So I'm going to go ahead, do that real quick, and then I'm actually going to hook up the battery tender onto the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick and be right back. Alright, so there you go, battery tender plugged in. Alright, so next we're going to open up our cheap little device and see what comes in the package. Alright, so I'm going to try and do this with one hand. Bear with me. Some letters, there we go. Cool. Nice little unboxing. Cool little mount. Put that back for now. And here's our wiring. Nice little sticker. Zip tie. Let me try and open this up. Alright, here we go. Nice little sticker again. It comes with instructions on the actual box. Alright, so made it into the truck. Now I'm just going to be following instructions to plug this. A red and a blue light, I hope that means good. Alright, so I'm going to press next. Make sure Wi-Fi is turned on and you're connected to EZ-Link XX. Yes. Alright, diagnostic codes update. Cool. Auto Agent firmware update. Sure, knock that out real quick. Just make sure the key is turned on or that the engine is running. it says transferring the firmware to the auto agent. Do not unplug auto agent. Do not turn the key off. Cool. Alright, so that's done. It'll turn off. The auto agent will turn off, and then it'll lose its Wi-Fi connection. So you're going to have to, again, reconnect to the Wi-Fi to the Easy Link. And then you'll have to confirm the VIN for the truck. Alright, go ahead and read that. Disclaimer. Sure. Next, it's asking tire size. So it can only go to 34.5. Let's just keep with stock OEM because I changed it with forescan. Next. Describe your vehicle. If you haven't modified it, simply put stock in your notes. Let me just put some notes in here. Alright, so I'm at the main, pretty much dashboard. What I'm going to do is go to vehicle. Got the vehicle ECU profile. Here's all the available ECU profiles. Let's go to single power files, non-shift on the fly, because I'm not going to install my shift on the fly just yet. Alright, so it is safely installing. Windshield wipers keep going off. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe the truck's getting turned on. But we're at 14%. It's only been on for about less than a minute, so I'm going to go ahead, let the truck soak it all in, get comfortable and settled, and see what happens once the installation is complete. Alright, so truck turned magically on. Please place the ignition in the off position. Boom. Going off. Let's go ahead and hit continue. Place ignition in the on run position without cranking the engine. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright. Let's see what that's showing. Hood, door, full accessory power mode. Alright, that's about it. So, let's press continue. Installation was completed successfully. Let's go. Actually, before going into the exhaust, let's go ahead and take care of this. Tcm Cam Reset. Next step, medium shift. Alright guys, so all is well. Now it is on to installing this bad boy right there. So materials you're going to need: ratchet and socket. You're going to need a 15 millimeter. These are going to be for your rear 3 bolts. You're going to have a 13 millimeter. Alright, this is going to take care of your 2 front bolts, and you're also going to need like a wrench, 15 millimeter. Alright, zip ties, dielectric grease. I won't use this until the very end, but you'll need these as well. So let's go ahead and take these and get up underneath the truck. Alright, so tough angle. I'll see if I can try and get this done. I loosened all 3 of these. Alright, and this is your 15 millimeter. 3 bolts. Alright, what we're going to do, disconnect this. Alright, and then we're going to move on to a little closer to the center of the truck. Disconnect this. Alright, so we're towards the rear. There's that. This wire right here. I have to disconnect it, and it's right up there. Alright, moving along just nicely, pushing up towards the front. Alright, so pretty much the gist of it is, if it's the DPF is connected to anything on the chassis, go ahead and just disconnect it, remove it. So here's another one. Go ahead, unclip that, unclip this, and this should just be a button if I remember correctly. Yep, there we go. So let's disconnect this. Alright, so moving up to the front, go ahead and loosen those up. That's going to be a 13. This is going to be a 15 millimeter. Use a wrench on that side, socket on that side. And there's 2 bolts right on here, alright? I'm going to remove them. Let's see if I can poke my hand through there. Here's 1, here's 2. It's pretty close. Go ahead and remove all of those. Alright, so finally got this probably 140 pound pipe off. Alright, so here's the new one. Back, front. Here's all the tools that I used. Alright, silicone. Alright, crowbar. Starting from the front, going back to the rear. Alright, this was pretty simple. Just loosen this up. For this one that was up near the engine bay, or closer to it, I used an extension, about a 6-inch extension, a U-joint, and then the 13 millimeter with the ratchet, and that was easier. These two bolts came out just fine. Alright, they're actually attached to this, so that was fine. This one I unplugged. Alright, for this I just removed two bolts right there. Then you'll mess with this. Or at this, there's a portion right up top. You pinch it and then you pull out. There you go. Disconnected it right there. This was on the side of the frame. Alright, pushed it back up. Here's just another push and pull. Now for these right here, it's best that you use some silicone and a crowbar or something to push it. But what you want to do, because up underneath the truck, there's two metal bands, and this is where they go through. What you're actually going to do is spray with silicone, and you're going to push it back. Alright, and that's how you're going to work these off. This push and pull right there. Here's another one. Here's another one towards the beginning. And the same with these. Alright, you're going to push this off based off of the metal rod on the frame. This one, it was easier to push it off this portion, or honestly it can go either way. And then the three bolts. That is it. So you got three bolts, two up front, two right there in the middle. So you have 7 bolts total. And you're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 clips, push and pull off. That was the hardest part. So now's the easier part. Gonna go ahead, connect that, and then 2 bolts right up there. Hardware comes with the kit. 3 bolts in the back. Make sure you put the flange in it before connecting the 2 pieces. Use that, was it a heat gasket? And throw it back up underneath the truck. Alright guys, so finally finished. Pretty simple process. I am looking forward to the first start, so let's go ahead and jump in. You've seen everything, the entire process. Throwing in your pipe or throwing in your exhaust, whichever one you choose. It's pretty straightforward. A few bolts, line it up. Use a jack stand to help you out as you're wrenching the front, while the jack stand's holding the rear, you know, something like that. But for the most part, very simple process. So let's get this truck started up. I'm looking forward to it and see how it sounds. All right, moment of truth. Got my keys. I ain't got no key on me. Blooper. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you something a little different from what most people do. Alright, I know I've done it before when I'm installing a different exhaust. I've had a few Mustangs. Alright, so it looks. You don't think about that. Anyways, let's start it up and see how it sounds. Alright, so that sounds really good. I'll be honest, I'm not going to run it long in this kind of setup, but I will run it for at least, I don't know, a few days, see how I like it, enjoy the sound, hear the turbo spool, and then put the rest of it back on and go from there. So let me show you the last thing that you're gonna do, and this involves the plugs. Let me turn off the truck real quick. All right, so each one of those plugs that I disconnected, what I'm gonna end up doing is chopping off a portion of this. All right, now I'm gonna use some dielectric grease, throw it on the plug, wrap this around it. It's like a plug condom, you know what I'm saying? Secure the little glove over the plug with a zip tie, and that is it. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been something I've been wanting to do. I wanted to do with my last truck, the 6.7 Cummins, but the Ford 6.7 PowerSTROKE was the one that ended up getting the process and the exhaust. So I enjoy good sounding exhaust. I think many are right on the fence about doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and drive this for quite some time and then do a review. That's how I like to do my reviews. But if y'all have any questions, comments of anything, of the entire process, go ahead and shoot them down below. If you're not a subscriber, you got a bunch to stay in tune with. Please like this video and subscribe if you're not. But until next time, see ya.